Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Horizon Forbidden West, where, well, we've made some progress. We've not only recovered Gaia and now have a base of operations to work from, but we've also recovered the first of her errant subroutines, Minerva. Minerva was the subroutine responsible for communications and code breaking. And while she's already performed that function, shutting down the war machines that destroyed all life on Earth 1,000 years ago, so her actual function is no longer any real direct use to us. But the additional processing power that she's delivering to Gaia is going to be useful for when it comes down to tracking down and containing the Hephaestus subroutine, and her communications abilities have allowed us to pinpoint the location of 3 other subroutines: Poseidon, Demeter, and Ether. Ether is closest, but she's located within Tenakth clan lands. So we're out of no man's land now, we're deep into Tenakth territory. The Tenakth, of course, are in the middle of a civil war, instigated by a Tenakth rebel known as Regala, played by Angela Bassett, by the way. Regala's rebels have been given machine overrides by Silence. Not quite sure what he stands to gain from a civil war between the various different Tenakth clans, but he's definitely responsible, because who else is going to give them machine overrides? All of that, of course, is a problem for another day. First thing we need to do is locate these missing subroutines, starting with Ether. Ether's the subroutine that was responsible for cleaning up the atmosphere after it had been wrecked as a byproduct of the activities of Ted Pharaoh's machine plague 1,000 years ago. And she's apparently located inside a place known as the Memorial Grove, which is where the chief of the 3 Tenakth clans, Hekarro, resides. Apparently it's some kind of museum, or it used to be. Now, on the way up to this point, I have completed a whole bunch of side quests for the Tenakth. I'm not showing them to you for 2 very good reasons. 1, I'd like to get this video series finished sometime this year. And 2, if you're going to play this game for yourself, there need to be some surprises. But as a result of the time that I've spent in Tenakth territory up to this point, I've noticed a couple of things about them. We already knew they were an intensely militaristic society, but I think things go a lot deeper than that. They form themselves into units that they call squads. The Tenakth settlements are led not by chiefs but by commanders. The commanders are advised by elders who are known as chaplains. I'm definitely getting the impression that all Tenakth culture is based on old Earth military of some kind.
Regala's army only grows in strength.
Regala's forces may seem strong now, but
her machines took out my entire squad.
Remember the visions. The old ones didn't choose their fight, but still they stood firm. They didn't falter. And neither will we. Blood of the 10. You've come to us.
You know who I am?
Oh, the warrior with hair like wildfire who defeated Regala's champion at Barren Light. Yes. You are known to us. I am Dekka, chaplain of the Lowland clan. You've come to speak with Chief Hekarro.
Not quite. There's something I need here.
Anything you need, the chief will provide. Come.
Is that one of the visions you were talking about?
Yes. The records of the 10. I can show you them, if you like. On the way to the chief.
These visions, you said they're the records of the 10. Who are they?
Old ones, who fought a heroic battle against machines on this very soil long ago. Their deeds are honored in the visions. At least what remains of them. To be remembered and exalted.
There used to be more of these visions?
Many more. Once this place was filled with light and sound, but over the years they've fallen into darkness, one by one. That is why chaplains are so important to the tribe. We remember all we can of the visions, etched in our flesh, passed down by word of mouth from generation to generation. One day the whole grove may go dark. But chaplains who come after me will keep the memories alive.
Why does Hekarro want to see me?
We are at war with Regalla. And you've already shown that you can stand against her.
I'm not here to fight a war for you.
Not for us. With us. But I won't try to persuade you. That is for the chief. He can be very convincing.
What does it mean to be a chaplain here?
We who outlast our youth study the visions and share their wisdom with our young.
What kind of wisdom?
How to be a true warrior. To fight with bravery and unflinching honor. And to know when to call for peace. You can see for yourself when we go inside.
All right, let's go see Chief Hekarro.
He's in his throne room at the far end of the grove. Come. Be welcome among the records of the Ten.
You know, initially I thought, because they keep going on about the Ten, and it's even in the name of their clan, the Tenakth. Their entire culture is clearly based on some kind of old Earth military, and initially I thought, is this the 10th Mountain Division?
It's glitched. Incomplete.
Their full truths are lost to us. It's a chaplain's duty to make sense of these visions as best we can.
It's not a bad guess. I mean, I'm not suggesting that these people were descended from the 10th Mountain Division, because everybody died. Anybody alive in the world now was raised from an ectogenic tank in a machine cradle a couple of hundred years earlier. So, not direct descendants, but their culture is clearly based on some kind of military organisation that has the word 10 in it somewhere.
The Ten were dedicated soldiers, working together as a squad and sharing in their duty. And when the time came for battle, they took to the skies and leaped to glory. All Tenakth seek to follow their example. Before the chief, it was one of the few things the clans had in common.
But it's not the 10th Mountain Division. Oh, there's a data point there. The 73H exhibit. So this is referring to something that was known as Executive Order 2036, so at least 20 years before the Machine Plague. 373H. So this is the federal government effectively shutting down and ordering evacuation of most of the southwest of the United States due to some kind of climatological disaster that turned it all into an uninhabitable hot zone. But some of the inhabitants of the southwest didn't want to move, in particular mining companies that just saw this as the federal government trying to take their claims. Right, there's another one over here. Staff instructions. Whoop, that's not it. Would you please inform relevant staff in maintenance? Okay, so this is to do with a museum, which is what this place was, but a museum to what? I mean, these are just maintenance instructions. They're not telling us an awful lot. There's definitely a story to be discovered here. This whole place is a museum dedicated to something that the Tenakth refer to as the Ten. And they're clearly some kind of military organisation. And whatever war they were involved in, they did say it was a war against machines, but it wasn't the machines. It wasn't the Pharaoh Plague that wiped out all life on the planet, because the Executive Order 73H was signed in 2036, and that's at least 20 years before the machine apocalypse. So there is some kind of story that needs telling here. And I'd like to find out what. So there's something around here. Oh, here we go. More displays. Oh, and another Tenakth I met earlier at a place called Bleeding Mark, who wanted to serve as one of Chief Hekarro's personal bodyguards.
Well met, Aloy. I was hoping we'd run into each other again after the flood in Bleeding Mark.
Natika. So you did it. You're part of the Chief's Guard now.
It wasn't an easy choice, but yes. After you left, we laid Kentuck to rest, and I thought about what he said. He served his clan, his tribe, as best as he could. I have to do the same.
I'm sure he'd be proud.
And he'd reprimand me for allowing myself to be distracted.
Can't have that.
Thank you again, Aloy. Strike true as the 10.
Well, it was nice to catch up. Completely meaningless to you, of course, because I didn't actually record that particular side quest. What's this one all about? See what we can make out of this. Yeah, these displays are horribly corrupted. I'm going to get more information from the data pads than the displays themselves.
During their war, the 10 climbed sheer rock, braving blinding snow and wind. They stopped at nothing to protect their own.
You make them sound invincible.
They weren't. But the visions tell us of their courage and strength. Something our soldiers aspire to. The Sky Clan admires this one above all the rest. They make their home in the mountains northwest of here.
Yeah, that's another clue to their military heritage. The Tenakth don't have warriors, they have soldiers, organised into squads led by commanders advised by chaplains.
Seized the desert. Others with raging sands. Their soldiers bring enemy lines.
What's this one about?
The 10 waged war against their enemy in the desert heat. A land too harsh for any to survive. But against all odds, they prevailed. So the Desert Clan does the same. You must have passed through their territory on the way here.
I did. They seem a little extreme.
They take that as a compliment.
10 claimed the desert.
Alright, let's oh, there's another data pad over there. What's this one have to say? Hopefully it's not more maintenance instructions. Man versus machine, here we go. Holographic representations of all 7 GSIN battle drone models deployed during the conflict. JTF-10. Ah, there it is. Joint Task Force 10. That's who the 10 were. They're talking about how the JTF-10 fought against combat drones deployed against them by the federal government and routinely whipped their asses. Huh. Clearly in the 20 years after this was recorded, AI combat technology made some great advances, which was catastrophic for everybody involved. But at first it looks like the federal government deployed combat drones, attempting non-lethal methods of getting the Southwesterners out of the Southwest. And it wasn't very successful, at least not at first. Let's see what else we can find. Another one through here. It's really difficult to make out the images through the distortion. Oh, and there's another data log over there I can check out after trying to make sense of this. Something about the 10 protecting convoys or something in the jungle? There's no jungles in the Southwest.
Soldiers in a jungle. Those were the 10?
Yes, they knew how to use the jungle's depths to distract the enemy until the perfect moment to strike. Generations ago, my clan, the Lowland, looked to this one for inspiration as they claimed the jungle to the southwest.
So that unlocked an entry called the Columbia Drop, which means the JTF were not just fighting in the southwest, they were also fighting in the jungles of Columbia for some reason. Also, what's this?
You have an old world recording?
This box was speaking with voices of the old ones. But now there's noise over them.
Let me take a look. Where did you find this?
We took it from an Oseram Delver. She was trying to steal it, and other artifacts from Tenakth territory. The others were going to bury it in the sand with her. But then I heard the voices.
Well, the data here is badly corrupted, but...
Delta Juliet 9, you are weapons-free and clear to engage the swarm. Good hunting.
Copy that. We'll buy Zero Dawn the time you need. Delta Juliet 9 out.
The voices of warriors from the past. And that Oseram wanted to sell them for shards. The bravery of the 10 should be remembered.
I'm not sure what you mean by the 10. These voices came from the final battle of the Old Ones.
Another battle? I could learn more about it if I could find the other boxes. That Delver did say there might be more recordings to be found in the wreckage of ancient flying machines. She claimed she had a way to locate them.
Yeah. The box with the voice data on it is emitting a locator signal. I could use it to find the others.
If you do then, bring them back here. I will see to it that they're treated with proper respect. Whatever sacrifices were made by these ancient soldiers, we will honor them.
I have actually already found a couple of these black box recordings in aircraft that have been shot down.
I've already found a recording.
I'll take any you find. Let me give you something for it.
So, as you locate these black boxes, you can bring them here to the Memorial Grove and trade them in for upgrade resources, some of which are not that easy to get a hold of, like Stormbird storm cannons, for example. And you can use this stuff to upgrade your weapons and equipment. A lot of this stuff is very hard to come by. Dreadwings are very rare, and trying to successfully detach the storm cannon from a Stormbird without destroying it is not an easy task either. She does have a limited supply, however, usually only just one of each.
These voices will be kept here. They will be remembered.
If I find more of those recordings, I'll bring them back to you.
Right, there was another data log. Where was it? There it is. So what's this one? Black box exhibit. Allows us to hear the final moments using an interface donated by Sterling, whoever. Simply place a black box. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's just explaining what we've already figured out just by talking to the curator, I suppose. Yeah. There's a thing here. What's that? Oh. Carefully written cartoglyphs from Decker, the chaplain. Learned the answer. Oh, this is from the Marshal, who was a captured Carja. Talking about the function of the Memorial Grove. Okay. I liked him. It's a shame he died. Literally minutes after I met him. Back at Barren Light when Regala's rebels attacked. Oh well, anyway. Let's keep looking. Because I still don't actually... I mean, we know that the Tenakth based their entire heritage and culture on
those recording devices. Should help me to
something
find
that was known as JTF, or Joint Task Force 10. We also know that it's got nothing to do with the machine apocalypse. This happened at least 20 years earlier. There's another one here. Hall of Heroes. This looks like more stuff relating to the museum itself. This room dedicated to the memories of Roberto Medina, who financed the campaign against the federal government's fleet of General Synthetics battle drones, Colonel Edward de la Hoya, the commander of JTF-10, Colonel Ann Faraday, the orator who oversaw early reconciliation efforts, and all those who lost their lives during the campaign and at the Battle of the Mojave. Huh.
The chief is inside. Are you ready to see him?
I definitely want to look around some more, but yeah, sure.
I'm ready.
Good. Come.
So we finally get to meet Hekarro, the guy who united the three warring Tenakth clans. Well, we're sneaking a look around first.
It's underneath the throne.
Jackpot! We've found ether. It's not going to be that easy though, is it? Ah, no. Oh, hang on a minute. I recognise this guy.
We'll see you soon, Outlander.
He's the Marshal who lost his arm at the Battle of Barren Light.
The savior of Meridian. I am told you held back Regala's forces outside Barren Light. And defeated her champion, Grutta, in single combat. Impressive.
I met Fashav there too. He said you were a great warrior. And a man of honor.
Oh, we're trying flattery first, are we?
Is a painful
Okay.
loss among many. We will not soon recover from the massacre of our marshals. But if you are here to pledge your service, that could help considerably.
Whoa, hang on there, Chief.
I am not here to fight for you. I need something in that basement. Something that will save many lives, yours included. It's not something you can see, but it is there.
I have seen it. You have named your price. Now I name mine. With my marshals dead, I need your spear. Help me defeat my enemies, and I will grant you access to the chamber below.
I don't have a price. I am not a hired killer. I'm here to save lives, more than you can count.
I count the corpses of marshals slain. I count hundreds more Tenakth, whose lives hang in the balance. I will fight for them. I will kill anyone who threatens the peace, and you will too, if you want me to open the door to the chamber below.
Okay. So by that logic, what's stopping me from killing you right now? And taking what I need to save everyone?
You could try. You might even succeed. Either way, you must fight. My way might hold off Regalla and the slaughter she craves.
Fine. What do you need?
I need more marshals to keep the tribe together. Such warriors can only be promoted at a trial by combat called the Cool Route. I've sent out a call for the competition, but since Regalla seeks to undermine me, she is certain to attack it. She'll want to kill me in front of the assembled clans.
So what, you want me to be your bodyguard?
No. To defend the Cool Route. But there is more. Knowing Regalla will attack, one of the clans had balked at sending their contestants. You must go north and force Tenakth, the commander of the Sky Clan, to submit and send his best.
Force him to submit?
Do whatever is necessary. I can't hold the Cool Route with 2 of the 3 clans in attendance. Marshal Cathala will assist you. He was maimed at Barren Light, but he can still be of use. I sent him ahead to the northern village of Stone Crest. Meet him there, and he will guide you to the Sky Clan stronghold. If you have any questions about your mission, now is the time.
You said you saw what's in the basement?
I did, on the day of my greatest victory.
What do you mean?
For a dozen generations, the 3 clans battled for control of this hallowed ground. Only I achieved it. I fought for years, killed whoever stood in my way. When I had finally slain all rivals, I stood alone in the grove. Victory was mine to savor, or so I thought. Thunder roared from the east, and a bolt of blue struck this place. That chamber.
Gaia dies, and Aether arrives.
All around me, the visions of the grove grew louder and brighter, and suddenly a new one appeared before me. The old one spoke, and what they said changed everything.
What did the old ones say to you in this new vision?
The one called Faraday foretold the growing danger of the machines, and said we must unify to stop them. She called for marshals to enforce the peace. Then the vision faded, never to be seen again. I marked the spot where it shone with my spear, and I took Faraday's words to heart. Renounced war between the clans, trained warriors to fight machines, ordained marshals through the Cool Route. Since then, the tribe has been at peace, until Regalla attacked at Barren Light.
And the chamber, beneath the throne. You went in after the vision?
I did. Inside is an ancient device. It hums with power. You will see it for yourself after the Cool Route. This I swear.
I'll do what you want, and go north to deal with Tenakth. But you'd better not forget about our deal.
You will have what was promised, if you succeed. Speak to Deca on your way out. She will arm you for the road ahead.
Alright, I guess I've got my orders. I did poke around more here in the Grove, uncovering various different other data points, and I managed to put together, probably not a comprehensive, but a reasonable history of exactly who JTF-10 were. So, we've already learned that they were formed as a response to the federal government's attempts to shut down the Southwest United States after a climatological disaster caused it to basically become uninhabitable, turned it into what was effectively called a hot zone. Not everybody wanted to leave, however, particularly not if it meant life in a refugee camp. And a guy named Medina, who had substantial mining interests in the Southwest, decided he was going to finance resistance, and basically paid for the development of what became known as Joint Task Force 10. Now, as always, there are two sides to every argument. The federal government did have a point. The southwest of the USA was becoming uninhabitable. There was a reason why everybody was starting to call it a hot zone. Temperatures were spiralling out of control. The desert was becoming inimical to human life. But it's understandable that people were resistant to being forcibly evacuated because, well, when you're looking forward to life in a refugee camp, or you can stand and fight for your property, because there were certainly elements within the federal government that were rubbing their hands with glee at the idea of getting their hands for free on all of those lucrative mining claims in the southwest, which is where this Medina fella comes in. He was responsible for a mining company with substantial assets in the southwest, and they were going to lose everything. So instead, I mean, if you're going to lose all your money anyway, you may as well lose it defending what's yours. So he financed Joint Task Force 10. The federal government's initial response was to send in combat drones using non-lethal methods to attempt to force compliance with the evacuation orders. This didn't work. For quite some time prior to the whole hot zone war kicking off, the federal government had been effectively dehumanizing its military, retiring the human element and employing lots and lots more combat AI drones. It turned out they weren't really any kind of match for well-trained, well-supplied and well-led human militias. But the attempt to force compliance with the evacuation order through non-lethal methods didn't last very long, and soon real lives started being lost. The government also tried to force compliance by, well, basically shutting off all the water supplies to the southwest. The JTF responded by organising water supplies imported through Colombia, hence the reference to the jungle fighting in one of the museum displays that we saw earlier. As things have a habit of doing, when these circumstances arise, things escalated very, very quickly, and with the federal government no longer even making the pretense of trying to employ non-lethal methods to enforce its instructions. But it all came to a head in 2037 when US Robotics Command initiated an extremely heavy drone strike against the JTF-10 headquarters at an airbase in the Mojave Desert. Nobody knows what caused the nuclear explosion that ended the battle and killed the 900 refugees who were sheltering at the headquarters. Speculation exists that it was a JTF-10 munition penetrating the casing of one of the combat drones and causing its fusion core to go into overload. But either way, the battle and the war ended in 2037 in the Mojave Desert. One of the surviving leaders of JTF-10, again mentioned in one of the displays, at the Memorial Globe, Colonel Ann Faraday spoke before Congress in an effort to reconcile the differences between the two warring factions, and peace was reached. The Memorial Grove was built as a museum to honour the memory of the men and women who fought and died in JTF-10. And the Tenakth clan have based their entire culture around standing up to the ideals and principles of JTF-10, even if they don't know exactly what those ideas and principles were, or even what JTF-10 actually was in the first place. Anyway, we've got a long way to go, heading to the territory of the Sky Clan, trying to force their commander, Tekote, to submit to the Kulrut and send his contestants to be chosen as new marshals. And we have to meet Katalo, the marshal who survived the Battle of Barren Light, although it did cost him an arm, and he didn't seem particularly happy to see us. What could possibly go wrong?
This must be Stonecrest. Katalo should be waiting for me. Maybe I should look around first.
This valley is infested with Regalla's rebels. The scouts from the village tell us that they've been moving machines through here for days. Some they ride, others they herd along, and some they even strip for parts. Especially cannons. The path ahead will not be easy. We should get going. My orders are to guide you to the bulwark so that you can speak to Tenakth. For all the good it'll do.
Not so fast. I'm gonna need a little more than that. For all the good it'll do? What's that supposed to mean?
The bulwark has stood unyielding since the birth of our clan. Behind it, Tenakth believes himself to be invulnerable. If he insists on defying Hekarro's orders, an outlander and a maimed marshal aren't gonna change his mind.
Your chief seems to think differently.
And that is the only reason I am still standing here, talking to you.
You were at the embassy.
I was.
I'm sorry about the other marshals.
Their deaths will not go unpunished.
You're still healing.
I will never heal. But that won't stop me from cracking any skulls that need it.
Good thing you're on my side, then. So, what's the plan?
The bulwark is to the southwest, so undoubtedly we'll have to cross paths with Regalla's troops along the way. We'll either have to fight our way through, or find a way to sneak past unnoticed. Neither will be easy.
Never is.
Let's get this over with.
So, Sky Clan territory is completely infested with rebels, just wandering around doing whatever they like, and the Sky Clan chief, the commander, Tenakth, is just sitting behind his walls, doing nothing about it.
Back at Stonecrest, you said the rebels have been moving through here for days. By the time Tenakth realizes he's outmatched, this entire valley might be overrun.
If not for the sake of the rest of the clan, I would welcome that day. To see his pride ruined.
Okay, well, maybe we can change his mind.
We'd sooner move mountains.
Speaking of mountains, here it is.
Here it is. The bulwark. Let me know when you are ready, and I will announce us.
Looking at that, you can see why Tenakth is confident of his ability to withstand any siege, though.
We should not delay.
Yeah, okay. Let's get this done.
You there! A marshal requests an audience with your clan commander.
I didn't know there were any marshals left. We defend the path to the mountain.
Where the wings of the Ten shall find us.
All right, Marshal. I'll send the lift for you.
When we meet with Tenakth, I'll do the talking.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I reserve the right to butt in and make things worse. At a moment of my own choosing.
Back again.
So this was home.
A long time ago. Come on.
We're here for Tenakth. Let us in.
The Sky Clan's mighty son returns. Bless the Ten.
Your chief has demanded an immediate dispatch of all challengers to the cool route. We're here to make sure yours haven't gotten lost on their way to the Grove.
I see. Regala must have dealt our chief a mighty blow, if he's sending you two as messengers.
This one defeated Regala's champion, Grudda, at the embassy. She fought honorably.
I had the sense to bar our soldiers from that embassy. Just as I have the sense now to keep our challengers here. If they must fight, then they will fight here. Defending our walls. Our clan.
That wall won't protect you. Not from the machines Regala controls. They're already at your doorstep.
And what do you know of the battles that the Bulwark has withstood? The blood shed upon stone.
I know it wasn't meant to be used as a coward's shield.
You were a great warrior once. But that was then. You tell Hekarro, with all due respect, that we will keep our challengers here for as long as we are safe behind the Bulwark.
Let me do the talking, Aloy, he said, and I just couldn't keep my mouth... Well, at least I didn't make things worse.
I told you, words are useless with his kind. We're gonna have to kill him. It won't be easy with all his men above. Are you even listening?
For as long as we are safe behind the Bulwark, he said. Wait here. I need to get a closer look at that wall.
What? Why?
There was something in the wall. And it wasn't rock, something was sticking out. Something metallic. So let's investigate.
The snowfall's blanketing the land. That wall might not be as strong as Tenakth thinks it is. I need to get down to the base of it and check it out.
So while I'm checking out the merchants, and I'm almost completely broken, can't afford anything. Okay, never mind. Going back to the whole issue of JTF-10 and the hot war of 2037, the conflict that preceded the machine apocalypse by about 20 years. At this point, I don't think it's quite yet been completely spelled out, but it's interesting to see how the events of that war could have led to and influenced the machine plague. Because we know that the federal government were making extensive use of combat drones. US Robotics Command during the Hot Zone War were the single biggest arm of the US military at that time. And as a result of the at least initial lackluster performance of their automated war machines in the first part of the war, Robotics Command invested a lot more money into developing AI war machines. But they had another problem as well. Their power supplies. They were using nuclear reactors. And that's kind of dangerous. Plus, they need refueling, and then you have to worry about how you're going to dispose of the spent fuel afterwards. And this was one of the things that led Hekarro to pour trillions of dollars into biomass conversion as an alternative power source for US Robotics Command's war machines, because it's effectively unlimited and it's completely clean. They never need refueling. They harvest their own fuel.
Just what I thought. There's something metal in there. Oh, that rock is interfering with the scan. I need to get closer. But how? I might be able to climb up on the left side of the wall, near that waterfall.
And as we all know, biomass conversion was the way ahead. It cost trillions of dollars, but he was eventually successful. And it didn't just solve all of US Robotics Command's problems.
Water coming from?
By the 2070s, the climatological disaster that had led to the hot zone crisis of 2037 wasn't getting any better, and the world was also in the middle of an energy crisis. Biomass conversion offered the solution to at least one of those problems. And having spent all of that money developing biomass conversion, Ted Faro saw a way of making all of that money back and more by solving the world's energy crisis.
Rocks here might give way if I pry at them.
And it worked. At least until one of his robot swarms harvesting biomass in the Pacific stopped responding to control signals one day and started replicating out of control.
Now, better scan that tank again. Power core. I'll bet if I blew it up. But how? Well, can't do anything else here. Better go find Catalo.
And the thing that you have to bear in mind about a machine intelligence, it's basically an apex predator when it comes to electronic intrusion software. And so any of US Robotics Command's machines that were sent to investigate also stopped responding to their control signals as they became co-opted by the machines, providing the machines with blueprints for highly advanced war machines that they could build upon and improve, and manufacture themselves in the millions. And 15 months later, everybody was dead.
The guard said you've been scurrying around the wall like a rat. What in the name of the 10 have you been up to?
Tekote said he wouldn't send his challengers as long as they're safe behind the bulwark, right?
Don't remind me.
So, we take it down.
Did you hit your head on the way down here?
I'm serious. There's something from the old world stuck in there, and it has a power cell. I could blow it up if I just penetrate the first layer of rock and metal.
Even if what you're saying is true, it would take a cannon to do that.
You're right. And you said the rebels were stripping them off machines back in the valley. Come on.
No. I'm not getting dragged further into this madness.
Hekarro ordered you to help me. You gonna defy him like that arrogant shit up there?
That was an unkind comparison.
You see, the initial attempts to combat the machine swarms were utter disasters.
The rebels might have made camp northeast of here.
And then what? The two of us go up against all of them?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, you may lack sense, but you don't lack courage.
So, back there with Tekote, it seemed like there's bad blood between you two.
There is. If we make it through this plan of yours, perhaps I'll tell you.
I'll hold you to that.
Because any robots that got sent to try to slow down the advance of the machine swarms just got taken over by the machine swarms and either stripped for parts or used against us. And robots were all we had because the US military had been scaling down its human-operated machinery since before the 2037 Hot Zone War. And this is where the great lie of Operation Enduring Victory arose.
Well, it looks like the rebels just got a lot more firepower.
Ready?
Oh shit,
Move
a
out.
tremor tusk. It's a big bugger.
You wanted your cannon, and that thing has him. This won't be easy to take down, especially with this.
I'll handle the big guy. You focus on the others.
I'll follow you in.
You see, if you couldn't send robots against the machines, then you needed human-crewed war machines, tanks, jets, the whole shebang. But all of that kind of hardware had been decommissioned decades earlier. It was still in storage, but nobody had been trained to fly a strike aircraft or command a tank in decades. So a couple of things needed to happen. First, we needed hundreds of thousands of volunteers to be trained to operate all of this old war equipment. And all of that equipment needed to be recommissioned fast. And that's what Operation Enduring Victory was. It was a big lie. And the lie of Operation Enduring Victory was that you were buying time so that Zero Dawn could be completed. And everybody was told that Zero Dawn was a super weapon that was going to stop the machines in their tracks. When of course it wasn't. Nothing could stop the machines. Everybody's going to die. But without the big lie of Operation Enduring Victory, Zero Dawn wouldn't have the time it needed to come to completion. And so millions of people gave their lives thinking that they were saving the future. And they kind of were in a way. It's just that nobody was going to live to see it, because that's not what Zero Dawn was. First things first though, if I'm going to get Tenakth out from behind that wall of his, we're going to have to bring it down, and that means getting one of the cannons from that Tenakth. There's a lot of rebels around here though. I'll try to thin some of them out first. There's one. Somebody just got suspicious. You can see by the detection indicator at the top of the screen. I'm not spotted, but somebody's looking for me. Ooh, a Ravager cannon. I'm going to have this. This is going to come in useful. I don't think I can sneak around carrying a heavy weapon like this though. No, I can't. So I can't take advantage of cover. Then again, with the Ravager cannon, I might not need to. Right, it's on. That's all we've got. It's drained the capacitor. Gotta move. Alright, it doesn't quite have clear line of sight. Oh, it's charging something up. But it looks like the stone column blocked whatever attack that was. Oh, I don't like the look of this. The time to move. Now, Cortalo's supposed to be dealing with the rebels. But that doesn't mean he wouldn't appreciate any assistance. Right now I'm using... I mean, these arrows don't do a huge amount of damage in themselves, but what they will do is blow chunks of armor and equipment off. So... Oh, rebel. Yeah, wrong type of ammo for this. Let's just get in there and smack that bitch up. Okay. Again, got to keep moving. But these precision tear arrows, every component that they knock off the tremor tusk is one less attack that they can use against me. Oh, like that thing. It's got one on each side. I don't know what they are. I mean, I could stop and scan it with my focus again, but it's rarely a good idea to do that in the middle of combat. But yeah, they're launching missiles or something. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I don't want to get hit by that. And more rebels. Jeez, Katalo, come on. What use are you? I think Katalo's down. Oh, I need to dispatch these two before that Tremor Tusk catches up with me. Oh, yeah. I think we've just been overtaken by events. We need to move. How many more rebels are there? And where is Katalo? Are there any other weapons lying around I could use? I'm not seeing them. Let's try to knock some more components off. And I'm out of ammo. And that thing's using some kind of plasma attack against me. Ah, yeah, that hurts. When you get hit by plasma... Ouch. Yeah, that's not good. it triggers a plasma explosion. Like that. Oh, now I'm getting trampled. I've run out of precision tear ammo as well. Let's quickly make some more while I'm on the move. See, I can only carry 6 of these things. I need to upgrade my ammunition pouches. Try to detonate this trap. Go back to the bow. Again, just trying to blow components off. And I mean, it's kind of working. But this thing's still only at 50% health. That's because, of course, I mean, these arrows aren't doing much damage. They're just knocking components off. Now, the Tremor Tusk will take damage as components get removed from it, but the arrows themselves aren't actually doing much of any damage at all. I just need to try to keep out of line of sight, and there's still at least one rebel that needs dealing with. Alright, I think it's just me and the Tremor Tusk now. Okay, I'm out of tear arrows again, but that thing looks like it's got some kind of blaze sack on its belly. If I could set that alight, that might actually... Ow. How am I doing for medicinal bellies? I'm down to 6. Okay. My warrior bow does fire blaze arrows. Unfortunately, this is a short-range weapon. I'm going to have to get closer than this. None of them are actually hitting. If I want to ignite that blaze sack, I'm going to have to wait for it to rear up. Whoa, dodge that. I could use the bolt blaster. This is a weapon I rarely use, because apparently the Tremor Tusk is vulnerable to shock damage. Oof! Ow! I still haven't taken care of those side missile launcher pods. I mean, my weapons at this stage are kind of bad. Now, if I can apply the shocked state to it with the shock bolt blaster, that will shut it down for a few seconds and allow me to maybe get close enough for a crit. Doesn't appear to be working, does it? How's it doing for health? Yeah, it's still got a lot more than me. Not sure about the range on the bolt blaster, but I'll give it a go. Oh, it is hitting. Mind you, it's hitting me in return. Yep, got to keep moving. Trying to keep hard cover between me and it. Enough time for me to at least get some more ammo made. Blow some more bits off. This thing can't have an awful lot of armor plating left. Let's go with advanced hunter arrows and actually start doing some damage to it, because it's almost down. Oh, I'm burning through these things quickly as well. They're not doing that much damage. I mean, I seriously need to get my weapons upgraded. How about those, like, fuel canisters on the back? Oh yeah, didn't like that. It's down! We got it! Right, let's grab as much salvage as we can and then see about getting that Tremor Tusk cannon.
I'm not looking forward to hauling this all the way to the Bulwark.
Here. I may be maimed, but I've still got a strong back. After you.
Yeah, I like Katalo. He's alright. Let's go and give Tenakth the good news, shall we?
Here it is.
My fingers
But
feel
you
stiff
don't
and
just need a
cold.
cannon. You need a miracle.
Coming right up. Okay. Gotta blast away some rocks, so I can expose the power cell. It's working!
It's exploding. This isn't gonna work.
Well, isn't this impressive? 2 children playing siege. I hope they haven't hurt the Bulwark's feelings. Come now, stop embarrassing yourselves. And leave this poor mountain alone.
This is your last chance, Tenakth. You can still answer Hekarro's call.
This is your last chance. You have it backwards. Leave this place, Savage, now, and take this cripple with you. Done?
Can't hide behind the wall anymore, Tenakth. Now you have to join Hekarro.
Never. Never. We will rebuild it. Immediately.
You are not safe. The Bulwark couldn't protect you from a single cannon, let alone an army of machines. The only pathway to safety is to unite against Regalo with your chief. You decreed that no challengers would be sent, while the clan remained safe behind the Bulwark. So send them now. Unless your word means nothing.
Send them.
I didn't hear you.
Send the challengers.
I look forward to seeing the Sky Clan's colors in the arena.
Nicely done, Marshal. What's gonna happen to this place?
They'll have to live without their wall. But that's better than living apart from the tribe, as pawns in Tekote's foolish schemes. If you want to check up on them, talk to Jera, the chaplain of the clan. If anyone needs help up there, she'll know.
Yeah, maybe I will.
I'll take my leave then. I need to report to Hekarro.
I'll see you at the culvert.
Good.
Of course, this is only the first half of what needs to be done.
We may need another miracle there as well.
Just getting the Sky Clan to send its champions to the Kulrut is the first half of the plan. Then we have to defend the Kulrut and Hekarro against the rebel leader Regala's inevitable attack, because she is not going to resist the opportunity to take Hekarro down in front of all 3 of the clans. And it's only after doing that that Hekarro is going to grant us access to the Ether subroutine, and all of that will be coming up in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.